Happy Sunday, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. As I mentioned, it's Sunday, June 15th. Happy Father's Day, and I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to do another rapid-fire news update, this time for the period June 7th to 13th. And again, it's not a deep dive detail, it's just a high-level overview of all of the most important updates that transpired over the last week in case you missed it. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So once again, happy Father's Day to all of the amazing dads out there. My daughter is almost 17 months here in about a week. And it's been an absolute blessing and a great experience. If you've always been wondering if you'd be a good father or if I want to be a father, it's definitely something I think that everybody should experience. Obviously, everybody's different, but it truly is something that you just can't even describe how amazing it feels. When my daughter came back home today, she came back from playing outside, and as soon as she came in, first thing she said was "Dada," and then ran straight to me and said up and wants me to pick her up. So no better feeling than that. And once again, hope you have a fantastic day and spend time with family. So we'll jump right into the news. Amazon, Walmart, and Expedia consider issuing stablecoins to sidestep costly card fees. And this is a trend that we've been seeing. I mentioned it last week, I believe, in last rapid fire news update that we had like Airbnb and a bunch of other big, huge conglomerate corporations looking to do so. We have USDC launching their stablecoin on the XRP ledger. So Circle's USDC has a market capitalization of over 61 billion, making it the second largest stablecoin, second to Tether. And this is just the beginning. We're going to see stablecoins penetrate the entire globe, and it's great to see that it's on XRP ledger, fast and efficient, and very, very cheap as well. And love to see it. Who knows? Maybe we could potentially see a partnership before some sort of merger. Also, Shopify teams up with Coinbase and Stripe in USDC stablecoin payments push. So again, this is a trend that we're really starting to see, and stablecoins are going to be, combined with CBDCs. A lot of people don't like CBDCs, but the fact is some countries are going to have them, and then some are going to rely on stablecoins in the private side, and that's what I think the U.S. will do. More than likely, obviously, China has already got a CBDC in circulation, but there's going to be some countries that rely on CBDCs and they want to control it, and there's going to be some that are just private-based stablecoins. There's going to be a mix of both. So again, I'm not expecting this trend to slow down anytime soon, and you're going to see stablecoins for every single major fiat currency, right? You're going to see the pound, the yen, the dollar, anything you can possibly imagine. There's going to be a stablecoin for it, and it's going to drive even more demand for those currencies because it's going to make it easier for people to buy them, and they have to have the same cash and cash equivalents in reserves. So it's actually going to boost the value of the big fiat currencies, right? Because it's going to make them more accessible, and they have to be backed one-to-one, which means that they're going to actually drive up demand for those currencies long term. Also, Alibaba joins the list here as co-founder. Ant Group plans entry into regulated stablecoin markets. So again, this trend really starting to pick up. Apple, Google, and Uber quietly explore stablecoins to revolutionize payments. So again, the writing is on the wall, folks. Things are getting really, really interesting, and stablecoins are going to save these companies maybe even trillions of dollars when it's all said and done. Also, Chainlink powers Hong Kong's cross-border digital payment revolution, and Sergey Nazarov, Chainlink's founder, in conversations with all top financial institutions in US, Asia, and the Middle East. So I'm very bullish on Chainlink as well. Again, not financial advice. I do hold it in my portfolio. Speaking of the XRP ledger, I mentioned earlier in the video, we've been seeing a lot of activity. The USDC coming to the US to the XRP ledger, and also developers are planning a sidechain launch in Q2 for Ethereum compatibility, and there's some information coming with regards to compatibility and interoperability with Cardano a little bit later on in the video. So again, it's not going to, I know everybody wants to get all maximalism, like we should not be we should be chain agnostic, right? Crypto agnostic. We don't want one project to win, right? There's going to be multiple winners and losers. It'd be naive to think that there's just going to be one coin to rule them all, right? And that's why I can't stand listening to Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. And it's Looney Tune crazy, really, at the end of the day. There's going to be winners and losers, right? There's going to be some that are more valuable than other projects for sure. But at the end of the day, we need the whole ecosystem, right? If we're going to change, to quote David Schwartz, the co-creator of the XRP Ledger and CTO at Ripple, if we're going to change how money moves and works globally, we need the entire ecosystem. It's not just one project, right? There's going to be many different use cases and different projects looking to solve different problems. And, sometimes there's going to be multiple projects trying to solve the same problem. But at the end of the day, as long as they're all interoperable and working on the same common goal and solving real problems for real customers and real businesses, that's what matters. Invesco and Galaxy Digital filed to launch Solana ETF in Delaware amid SEC approval buzz. There was also Fidelity as well, and they're eyeing the ETF with staking feature. And we also have Sui token now surging on an ETF filing as well. And crypto's altcoin ETF summer, I've been saying this for a while now, that we're probably going to see a bunch of them approved at the same time. It may come in July with SEC approval, says analysts. And I think this is very much a possibility. We also see Solana ETF review speeding up as the SEC requests S1 amendments and really starting to give the green light here and a little bit of a clue that this could be approved very, very shortly. And there's a lot of speculation that the Ripple case is going to come to an end soon, which we get some news on that in just a moment. Both parties looking to end it and get rid of the injunction. So just going through the final red tape there. And once that happens, I think we're going to see an XRP very, very promptly, an ETF launch for XRP, Solana, Dogecoin, there's Litecoin, there's Sui, there's so many different altcoins, Tron, I think, as well. So there's probably going to be, maybe 6 to 10 altcoin ETFs that get approved, maybe even a basket where you can buy one ETF and buy like 4 or 5 of them, right? Maybe like a top 10 or something. And you're going to see that, I think, over the coming months. And that's going to absolutely catapult alt season. Once the Ripple case is over, oh man, it's all bets are off. It's going to be a show to behold, that's for sure. Bloomberg analyst also raises chance of spot Litecoin and Solana ETF approvals to 90%. Polymarket is saying that an XRP ETF getting approved in 2025 is at 98%. I've never seen Polymarket, which is now the official prediction partner with X, so formerly Twitter. I've never seen when they pretty much have never been wrong. And when it's at 98%, you might as well say it's a done deal, because I've never seen anything on Polymarket that high and it not come to fruition. So I'm very, very hopeful that not hopeful, I'm very, very confident that it's going to happen in 2025. We're going to see, bare minimum, an XRP and a Solana ETF, in my opinion. And then we could even see, baskets and maybe even 6 to 10 ETF, altcoin ETFs approved by the end of the year. Also, Ukraine proposes a new law to include cryptocurrency in national reserves and central banks. So again, this is a trend that we've been seeing around the globe. It's game theory playing out. Once one government goes, they all go. If they start with one, they're probably going to move to other cryptos to diversify, right? It's good financial sense, common sense to diversify, not just in one asset, but in multiple. And there's going to be winners and losers, and there's going to be different projects, like I said, trying to solve different problems. And then you got companies adding it to their balance sheet, right? Also, PayPal USD, PYUSD, their stablecoin, they plan to use Stellar for new use cases. So again, it's just, you can see it's the ecosystem, and it's going to penetrate every sector and every area of the world and economy. Also, big news, Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin becomes gateway to U.S. Treasuries as OUSG goes live on XRPL. So again, we're witnessing the new financial system being created directly in front of our eyes in real time. It's unfolding. Also, Singapore's Trident Digital targets Mammoth $500 million raise to establish an XRP Treasury Reserve. So Trident Digital's plan would make it among the first public companies to hold XRP as a core treasury asset. And again, once they all go, they're all going to go, folks. Also, Good Morning Crypto reported on this. SEC Gov and Ripple have both requested that Manhattan District Court to dissolve the injunction on XRP, which means that they'll no longer be unable to sell to institutions. And it's also going to be looking at reducing the $125 million civil penalty to $50 million, and the other $75 million will be returned to Ripple, and including interest, as I'm as I understand it. And they're proposing that $50 million be paid to the SEC with the remaining funds returned to Ripple. As I said, this is a key step forward in the settlement and resolution and avoid further legal proceedings. So, like I said, it could even happen this week coming. There's a good chance that this could be all over in the next week or so. And then, like I said, once it's over, I think we're probably going to see altcoin ETFs go live, maybe even in the next couple of weeks after that. So I'm very, very confident. Like I said, it's going to happen at some point soon here in 2025. Also, new banking charter now proposed for Ripple and digital finance. So this is exciting. A new banking charter has now been proposed for Ripple and digital finance, which will revolutionize banking. Again, we're watching it all unfold. Greg Kidd was on stage recently, who's one of the, I think he was one of the early investors in Facebook and Twitter and Ripple, and he used to work at Ripple, I believe. And yeah, he's had his hands in all major big tech companies. And he said when he learned about XRP, he said it was like Moses coming down from the heavens. And he even said on stage recently that he believes, and I think it was at XRP Las Vegas, he believes that XRP is going to be it's going to replace SWIFT, right? The antiquated banking system and international transfers. He believes that the whole banking system is going to be using XRP as the standard, the XRP ledger. And I would agree 100%. In a significant development for the cryptocurrency landscape, U.S. politician and former congressional candidate Greg Kidd has announced his initiative to introduce a groundbreaking bank charter aimed at facilitating banking license for digital native firms like Ripple. This bold step, revealed during the recent XRP Las Vegas conference, yep, that's what it was, could reshape the financial sector by fostering innovation and enhancing competition. And he said everything will be on chain, and it's more than likely going to be the XRP ledger that is the de facto chosen chain for the banking system. I would agree. Also, Charles Hoskinson, who's the founder of Cardano and co-creator of Ethereum, confirms that XRP support will be available in the Cardano ecosystem. So again, it's all going to be interoperable, folks. It's going to be the ecosystem, not just one or two or three projects, right? And what does this mean? So the founder, Charles Hoskinson, confirmed that the network will fully integrate the XRP ecosystem. And this comes after, there's some drama with him and the XRP community, but, he seems to be putting that behind him and locking arms and wanting to work together. Hoskinson highlighted the exploration of XRP-based DeFi solutions, including Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. This shift underscores Cardano's renewed focus and openness and collaboration between both networks. So love to see it. All right, once again, happy Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know what you think of this news in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there, and we'll see you again on the next video.